But first, the front lines. The most difficult situation right now is in the Pokrovsk area. This is one of the largest Ukrainian-controlled cities in the Donetsk region, and the fighting for it has been ongoing since July 2024. Unable to take the city head-on, the Russians are sending in separate sabotage groups. This week, such a group entered the city center, reaching all the way to the railway station, where the Russians shot civilians, until our defenders managed to drive them out. On this DeepState map, you can see that it is near Pokrovsk where the Russians have concentrated especially large forces right now. They intended to encircle the entire agglomeration, including Myrnohrad, from the rear. But obviously the general staff sees the threat, and we have some good news. On Saturday, units of the 82nd Separate Air Assault Bukovina Brigade liberated the small village of Sukhetske, and today the resource DeepState reported the liberation of 2 more villages on the Dobropillia salient, Kucheriv Yar and Zatyshok. The success may seem minor, but what's important is that the initiative has been seized, says our correspondent Oleksandr Zagorodniy. He was on the front line near Kharkiv. Strange as it may seem, he brought back reports. He has more optimism than some people here in the rear. What can we do? You and I? We can help the Hroza battalion of the Boravi brigade today. The infantrymen are now on another extremely difficult front, the Kupiansk direction. They need generators and batteries because winter is coming. That's why every 10, 20, or 100 hryvnias from us matters. Scan this QR code, and our defenders will have warmth and communication. Thank you.
This is Kharkiv region, and this is the road of life.
Mom, now please.
We'll find Mom!
These were journalists from Freedom TV channel.
Fully charged.
A gift. This is Kharkiv. The city is burning from Russian shelling, screaming, crying with children's voices. 2 Russian Shaheds managed to break through the city's air defense. They fly into the center and, one after another, strike a private children's home. Come on!
You get the children out of here safely, okay? We're coming right now, Mommy, so please stay calm and wait for us.
Fortunately, the caregivers did not ignore the air raid alert. All the children were in the basement. But these shots are hard to watch. And it's even harder to listen to the cries of these little ones. Your heart breaks at the words of this little girl.
It simply won't die at all, absolutely.
She won't die. All the children will be taken to a safe place by rescuers, just across the street. The enemy cannot shell Kharkiv with barrel artillery. The armed forces of Ukraine have pushed them away from the city. That's why they use Shaheds to attack. We, taking advantage of the drizzle and light fog, are heading to the front line. In this kind of weather, reconnaissance drones have worse visibility. Thank you. There's a chance we can slip through. We have
Honor on the monitors. How did you receive? Received. Received. Copy. All right, keep us posted. All right, let's go.
the driver's pushing the old pickup to its limits. Once in the forest, we camouflage the vehicle. We're heading to a unique unit that's holding the defense in the Kharkiv region. Right now, the main thing in this war is to hide from enemy drones. At these positions, the guys from Ternopil region are serving here. And you know they couldn't think of anything better than to dig bunkers just like their grandfathers did. By the way, did you notice? We're standing on a dugout. There's a dugout beneath us. Honestly. Where's the handle? Good afternoon. How are you here? You've camouflaged yourselves. So, can I come in? Is this your palace? You may. How many square meters do you have here? This is the 105th Territorial Defense Brigade. The uniqueness of this unit is that all the fighters are from Ternopil region. Almost all have been fighting since 2022. All are volunteers. And before the war, almost everyone was working abroad.
Working abroad for a living. Stepan was there, worked and came back. We also have Serhiy. Actually, everyone. Even though we're all from the west, from Ternopil region. But everyone understands perfectly well that if we don't defend our land, all of it, then this trouble could spread across all of Ukraine.
After getting married, I was in Poland, but right before the war, I was at home in Ternopil. We were working in construction. Basically, I'm a bricklayer, plasterer, and painter. I worked in the field I was trained for.
Why not as a plasterer, but not as a painter?
What do you mean, not as a painter?
That's how it is at the front. One moment you're laughing in the dugout, the next you're running out to fight off the enemy who decided to launch an attack.
Gun to battle. Aimed, ready. Full charge.
Gifts. Right now at the front, the artillerymen fire just a few shells and immediately camouflage themselves. There's enough ammunition. Here, they're wary of enemy drones, which start searching for the gun after the first shot. That's why, in just a few minutes, the position is already camouflaged. And the guys are back in their hideout. These are the fighters of the armored group of the Kharkiv brigade. These young guys already have combat experience. They've fought, but they still keep learning and training.
You approach the tree, you can lie down next to it, and even while lying down, you can put it on. That's exactly what camouflage is. Got it. But for now, we're staying in cover. Safety comes first.
And they're being prepared for a difficult mission. If in any way the enemy manages to break through the defense, it will be up to them to go out to meet them, hold their ground, and destroy the enemy. That's why they train constantly.
So that during assaults there are no mistakes. Because a mistake could cost us our lives.
But the chance of such an enemy breakthrough, the kind these guys are being prepared for, is currently minimal, says the commander with the call sign, Coach.
We've cleared out almost the entire front line. Right now the leaves have already fallen, so even moving through forest strips, it's almost impossible to get through without us noticing. And in the open field it's even better. We've learned and set up certain kill zones where we detect the enemy and where we destroy them. Almost probably 90% of all enemy hits we achieve are thanks to drones. For
the Russians, there has always been more armored vehicles and artillery. Ukraine was forced to develop unmanned systems. And now, in the fourth year of the war, drones have proven their effectiveness. But the whole system has to work, the commander insists.
as soon as they entered a certain kill zone where our UAVs and our strike assets could reach, the enemy was already hit. And
what is the width of that zone now? They fly in, and we fly in too. So if you take the front line and...
For infantry, it's 4 to 6 kilometers for the infantry. For vehicles, we can detect them at a depth of up to 20 kilometers. We can even detect them.
According to Kovch, any enemy who enters this strip of the front line will be detected and destroyed within minutes. Here is video footage showing that these are no longer isolated incidents for the operator of the Krinsky drone. He is preparing to eliminate an enemy infantryman, but a drone from a neighboring unit beats him to it by a second. Artillery is also losing some of its former importance. They always used to say, artillery is the god of war.
Artillery can't operate now the way it used to, 2, 3, 4 years ago. That is firing 20 rounds. Now it fires 3 to 5 and then has to take cover.
But the Russians aren't stopping. They can't break through the defense. In the Kharkiv region, they're shelling Kherson, indiscriminately just raining down rockets on the city. 2 dead, 22 wounded. And this is Pokrovsk. An enemy sabotage group is making its way to the railway station. On the way, killing civilians until Ukrainian soldiers eliminate them on the spot. The Russians continue their terror in Kramatorsk as well. This is the car of the Freedom Film crew. An enemy Lancet struck people with a camera and a microphone. Under these blankets are journalist Lena Hramova and cameraman Yevhen Karmazin.
They were journalists from the Freedom TV channel. They were filming. 2 killed on the spot, 1 wounded.
The enemy has lost the initiative. Their current tactic of destroying everything they can reach has nothing to do with military objectives. Yes, we are forced to travel under nets that stretch for dozens of kilometers, like here in the Kharkiv region. Yes, we can be hit, just like children in a kindergarten, or like my colleagues during filming. But this is the real state of the war. This is the kill zone near Kharkiv. Dozens of kilometers that the enemy could simply pass through. But they can't. Oleksandr Zagorodniy, Oleksiy Osovchuk, Tesan, Week 1+1, Marathon, Yedin News.
And let me remind you, we are raising funds for generators and batteries for the Hroza battalion of the Bukovina brigade. Next, we will talk about energy, but thank you, because right now, as the directors are telling me, there are already 106,000 in their account. Thank you, let's keep moving forward, because this is an extremely necessary thing for our defenders. Because on the eve of possible negotiations, the Kremlin is trying to destroy Ukraine as much as possible. Hundreds of drones and dozens of ballistic missiles struck almost every day this week. 3 people were killed, at least 33 were injured, 8 are in hospitals, including 3 children. These are the consequences of the latest overnight enemy drone raid on the capital. A Russian Shahed drone crashed directly into a residential building in the Desnyansky district. In total, nearly 1,200 attack drones, 1,360 guided aerial bombs, and over 50 missiles of various types. Russia used all of this against Ukraine just this week. The enemy has changed its shelling tactics, and we noticed it immediately. Because this week, half of Ukraine remembered what it's like to live according to electricity schedules. At first, there were emergency outages, and then stabilization outages in 12 regions of the country. Russian generals now want to cut off power to the entire left bank and force electricity to be transmitted from the west. It was more difficult, if not impossible at all. But there is another new feature. The Russians have focused their attention on thermal power plants. Heat, unlike gas or electricity, simply cannot be transferred from one region to another. The government understands these challenges and openly admits that the winter will indeed be difficult. But energy workers are learning to withstand the strikes. And already today, for example, Ukrenergo has cancelled the blackout schedules. There is more electricity now because 2 nuclear power plant units have come back online after repairs. There is an agreement with American and European partners for emergency gas supplies. Regarding the heating season, Energy Minister Svetlana Hrinchuk announced that it will start in the coming days. When to turn on the heating and radiators depends on the decision of the local authorities. And we ourselves should remember power banks, lamps, and a 3-day supply of water are essential items during wartime, especially in winter.